Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to tonight's bonus upload. Tonight's bonus upload is the one that I said you will realize why or how I'm trying to tie it in with the second half. And it is interviews done with couples, married couples that have experienced or had an experience with their significant other and these creatures. Before we get into this, and this one is very good as well, actually with photographic evidence. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership are in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into this interview, shall we? All right, everybody. Today I have two guests, husband and wife, Joe and Kathy. They live out in Arizona, and they shared their picture of a Bigfoot out in the Superstitions while they were ATV riding. Joe, Kathy, thank you for taking some time out of your day and coming on the show. How are you guys?
We're doing great. How are you?
Thank you.
I'm doing well. I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and thank you for sending me the pictures. It was truly amazing to see them. They're great pictures.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm going to turn the floor over to you guys so you guys can kind of paint the picture for us and kind of explain how the day went, and we'll go from there.
Okay. This was back in May of 2018. We were out riding out in the backside of the Superstitions, a place called Queen Valley, and one of the trails out there is called Rogers Trough, and we had rode out there, and it was a nice day, and everything was, going nice. It wasn't too hot. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we had made it out there to the trough, and that's where there's a water tank that you can see. And we decided to, just turn around and come back. And I remember as we were coming back...
well, how many miles is it? About 12 miles up there?
Yeah, it was about a 12-mile ride.
Yeah. So
okay.
And we had came back, and I think I remember we had stopped at this... There was a building that was like just the foundation of a building. And I remember we had stopped there to take a break, and I remember we were just standing there looking around, and we saw a big pile of poop. And there were cattle in the area, but it wasn't cattle.
Okay.
And that feel a little uneasy. And so, when the hair on the back of your neck starts to stand up, it's time to get out of there. So we did.
Yeah.
And I remember we were riding back, and it was right about 9:30. Kathy was ahead of me, riding her ATV, and she hit her horn, and she pulled over, and I pulled over, and because she was pointing to something, and we looked over, and I took some pictures, and the first one was a picture of the area we were in, the hills and stuff, and there was something standing there, and I took that picture, and then I took a zoom picture of it, and that was what we saw, and it was just kind of, it didn't belong.
No, it didn't. It did not belong. When you're riding in an area like that, all you see is brown for the dirt, the road. You see cactus, the gray and the light green. And when you see something like that, it catches your attention pretty fast. As we were going down back to what we call base, where we park our vehicle and our trailer that carries our ATVs, we're looking to our left. And, we don't take our eyes off our road too much because, we're riding, we're up high. And if you don't pay attention, you can tumble. I mean, you can go off, and it's a long ways down. It's pretty rough. This, we were just kind of, about 2/3 way down or halfway down, Joe?
I think we were like maybe a little less than halfway back.
Oh, less than halfway. But when you see something like that, it doesn't belong. There's no mistake. And when I first saw it, it was back a little further. If I can visualize it. In fact, I'm looking at the picture right now. So I am sure that it had moved, whatever it is, it had moved from back. There is a tree, and then it's moved across that flat surface where you just see the dirt there. It was back further. I can't tell you how many feet. But by the time Joe stopped his ATV, and I saw him get his phone out, and he got a couple of pictures, by then I wanted to go. I said, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. You hear a lot of stories. You hear different things. And at first, the first glance, you think, well, it's not a cow. And it's certainly a person would not have a coat on, because by then it was in the 90s. And I know that for a fact because we talked about it, and we needed to get back because it's hot under the helmets. And especially in that desert. But looking at it, you just, no one in their right mind would want to be out in the middle of that desert with that coat and hat and dress like that. So by the time Joe took his pictures, I had noticed that it had kind of crouched just a wee bit, kind of humped over a little bit, and so I just wanted to get out of there. I didn't want to stay around. Thoughts like, what if it smells us? What if it follows us back? I mean, what if it can run fast and our ATVs going down that mountain? We can't go that fast and things like that. I'm sure that. I'm not sure that it could run that fast. But when you see something like that, you don't know what to think.
Right. Yeah.
I know when you see one, you always wonder if there's another one that you don't see.
Yeah. And when you and I and Kathy were talking, you can, if you zoom in on the picture of it, there is like a tan color around the nape of its neck, and almost like a tan color around where an ear would be. It's hunched over, and it's compelling photos. Beautiful landscape, but definitely compelling photos.
Yes.
It was pretty compelling for us.
Yeah.
I mean, air stands. I think the good Lord gives us a knowing it's time to leave. You don't belong here now. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll be riding and we take a break, and all of a sudden Joe and we have a couple of friends with him. He'll lean over to me and he'll say, "It's time to go." And I'm like, "What? Wait, let's just stay a bit." And he'll go, nope, let's pack up. It's time to go. And then later on, he doesn't say it in front of them. He says, I didn't feel easy. And he perceives things like that, and I appreciate that of him.
Yeah.
I really do. This time, I perceived danger. I wanted to go quickly.
Yeah. Now, when you were honking your horn to get Joe's attention, did it do anything? Did it look at you? Was there any kind of movement from it at all?
Jeffrey, when I was honking the horn, I was looking at him and glancing back at that and trying to, thinking, wait, I'm going to pull over here and he'll know. But finally he realized, wait a minute, she's got something that she wants me to see, because I was honking my horn and pointing. And my horn is on the right. Excuse me, my horn is on the right. And my hand was pointing, and I grabbed the steering back, the bars, and so I wouldn't go off the road. But I remember thinking, my Lord, and I put on my brakes, and then he applies his brakes, and I point like, look down, and by then I think at that time it stayed still. It did not move, because when I first saw it, it moved, but it did not move after that. It stayed in that position until we left.
Okay. Yeah. And
did I answer your question?
Yeah. Now, you had said that you had shown, a couple people this photo or the photos, and a few people had said they could see what it is at Bigfoot, and a few people had said it was like a burnt out cactus. Now, to me, I'm looking at the landscape of this area, and there is nothing resembling the colors of this. It's not blending in very well, so it's almost like it does not belong in this location.
No, that's for sure. We sent it out and said, what does this look like? And everybody who responded, which were, I don't know, about a dozen people, they would come back, Bigfoot, a burnt cactus. Did anybody say a person? I can't remember. They all responded.
Yeah.
But majority of them did say Bigfoot, and somebody said it doesn't belong. So.
Yeah, I remember telling the person who said it was a cactus, I said, it looks like it has head and shoulders, and they go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you can clearly see that it is. I mean, it's got a hunched over kind of way to the back. There's a tan around the nape of its neck. You can really see that. It's definitely, and you can zoom in on it, and I don't see any burnt cactus. And I looked around at the other photos, and if there was, in my eyes, if there's going to be one burnt cactus, there's going to be another burnt cactus somewhere. So, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now,
when a fire starts out there, Jeffrey, it doesn't just end. I mean, somebody'd have to be there to put it out. I think that it would, of course, that green, some of that green wouldn't start, but there's gray areas and other places. It would start an awful fire. They've had them up there. Actually, when we told you earlier about us going to Rogers Trough, that's been destroyed by fire, and sadly, it has been. And we've never made it back up there again past that area that was destroyed by mudslide and by fire. But this is, it doesn't belong. that's what caught our eye, or caught my eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Joe, when you had seen the just so when you saw the poop in the area that you guys were at, now it definitely wasn't cow poop like you had said. It didn't resemble horse poop. It more resembled like large human feces, pretty much, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
then the second you saw that, you got the strange feeling, or was it before, after?
Well, just when I saw that, I realized there was something else in the area, and I said, let's get out of here. I didn't know what it was. But I think when I first saw it, and I realized it wasn't cow poop, I said, I thought maybe like a Bigfoot or something.
You did? Wow. Okay.
But yeah, but when we saw it, because it wasn't cow.
Yeah, and we had been talking, there's not a lot of large animals native to that area. You don't, to produce such a large pile of crap like that, right?
Yeah, I think we had saw like maybe 10 or 15 cows while we were riding up there.
Okay.
So they were in the area.
No, I mean like native. There's no like native wild animals out in that area to produce anything that large. Like there's no bear, there's no anything like that out there, right?
There may be bears.
Okay.
And superstition? Yeah, there could be. When it gets real dry, or if we have a lot of fires, bears have been known to come down in the valley, and they'll get in someone's pool, swimming pool, climb right over their fences or gates or whatever, and that's been on the news. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, because there are bear and there are mountain lions.
Okay.
But we didn't see any bear scat.
Now, how big are these shrubs, the trees that are surrounding? Like, how big are they, to put it into perspective?
You mean for the poop?
No, for the trees back where the creature was that you saw.
Oh, they were Palo Verde, and they were about, some of them were like 3-4 feet. The one in front of it is like maybe it's a tree, so it's maybe like 12 feet or more.
But those in the ones behind him, the Palo Verde, that's a more, is it mature? It looks like it's about ready to die around the bottom. But I see what you're saying, Jeffrey. It kind of, you try to see how big or how tall could this be in comparison to the cactus, maybe 6-7 feet, maybe?
Okay.
That tree in front of it looks like maybe 8-9 feet.
Wow, okay. But it's hunched.
Yeah.
When I thought it wasn't hunched, but when we came to a stop, yeah. Another thing, one thing I wanted to say is there were some people that commented and said they saw something to the right of it, and it would have been at if on a clock, if this thing was 12 o'clock and you move over to the right, it would be about 2 o'clock. There's something dark in the woods, or in the bush there. It's another Palo Verde. Now, Palo Verdes, by the way, can get really tall. But, no, yeah.
Okay.
That looks like something else. Doesn't look like anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an amazing, it's truly an amazing picture. You guys were above it. On like, kind of like a ridge, I'm guessing. So this thing was in like a valley?
Well, we were on the road, and it was like off to the left, and maybe like halfway up the side of the hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a great picture. I can only imagine just like the excitement, but fear too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting its decline, and it doesn't have too many, where we're at, it would start an incline in about probably 15, 20 feet, then it would start an incline because it's down in that gully.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
truly.
really eye-opening.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the first picture is in the video that I'm going to use is the one with the water tank. Now, how far were you guys from that area of the water tank? And is that the area with the water tank? Is that kind of where you saw the pile of poop?
Maybe like halfway
Okay.
between where we saw this and the where the building was. It was maybe like a line shack, but all was left was the foundation.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is it's so interesting, and it's so beautiful. The landscape is absolutely beautiful. And
Oh, it really is. That's why we always go up there. The scenery, we always see something, it's just beautiful, and we have more pictures. We go up there every year.
now, when you this is the one time you guys where your friends were with you, or no? Did they end up seeing this, or was it just you guys that saw it?
It was just us.
Okay. All right.
We
Yeah.
planned their trip after that because I kept telling Joe, I think we need to make sure, even before we show this, we need to make sure that this is for real. I said, do you think you can find out where it is? Because the excitement, and I was scared. I mean, I kind of excited but scared, wanted to get out of there. So I wouldn't be able to find my way back there. And we did take them on the next trip that we went on. But unfortunately, that's when the road was torn out, and we had to go on a different trail that we couldn't go past here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't. It was too wet, and that's when it got cooler, isn't it? It was like a few months later, like in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, are they... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we this trip that we got the picture was in May, and then it just got kind of hot, and it didn't work out. But the next trip, we didn't tell them. They don't believe in, and so we ended up just kind of keeping it to ourselves and saying we want to go past this area, but it's the same area we drive every time when we go up to Rogers Trough. But unfortunately we couldn't, and the day was shortened because the road was torn out, and we had awful weather and mudslides, and then just, was it last year or the year before, Rogers Trough burned in a fire. Yeah. And Rogers Trough is no longer there. We haven't been able to go to Rogers Trough again because it's torn up, right? I mean, I haven't gone on a trip.
Are there any caves or any kind of mine shafts out there where one of these could dwell?
Yes, there are mines out there.
Okay.
And I know there's creeks, and water does flow out there at different times of the year. You can find water.
Yeah, like you had said, there was like a animal, like a watering hole out by that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely It is.
Jeffrey. I've seen them. And I took some picture. I don't have it, readily available right now, but we took pictures of caves. You can tell. And I used to think, oh, I wonder what lives in those. Because they're just embedded into the rock. But it's so beautiful on the way up there. It's just red rock, and there's all different colors, and of course what you see with what we took a picture of with that there, that's just desert type, but the ride itself is just gorgeous.
Yeah, well, it's still beautiful to me. And Joe and I were talking, like, the superstitions are, it's Native Americans, it's cursed land up there. So there's definitely been a lot of mystery and, talks of very strange creatures coming out of the caves in that area. Supposedly there's some sort of cave on top of the superstitions that the Native Americans believe the wind blew out of and stuff like that. It's definitely a eerie but beautiful place.
It sure is.
Well, do me a favor. Don't hang up. We're about over with the interview. I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your experience with us all. Super amazing pictures, and I truly appreciate it. Would you guys like to say anything before we end the interview?
We've been listening to you for several years. We appreciate the job that you do.
That's right. And
your sincerity. It goes a long way. And we pray for you, and we pray for Victor too. And the guy named BJ, I guess I heard him about his friend finding the red tarp with something under it, the Dogman under it.
Yeah, in Virginia. Yep.
Yeah. And we appreciate all that you do, and we pray for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. It has been great to talk with you and to listen to the stories, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Do me a favor, don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this bonus upload as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Your support is truly what makes this channel so special and what continues to make the channel grow and go. Please, everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, our pets, our family, and friends. These creatures are real, they are out there, and they are dangerous. God bless you all.